Hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about a kind of a different type of app than what we've been talking about in the past. Every app that we've done in this app review has been an assistive technology type app. Today we're going to talk about something called Educreations. Educreations is a tool like something you would see maybe for a teacher to use to kind of explain a lesson to a student. What this basically does, it turns your iPad into an interactive whiteboard. So you can create a lesson and record a lesson for a student and then pass it on to that student for that student to watch elsewhere, whether it be at school, later in the day, at home, when they're doing homework. They have access to watching a lesson. What's nice for kids with disabilities in this is that you can tailor a lesson to those students and they can watch it as many times as they want. You don't have to keep going over and explaining things over and over again for a student that might struggle with a certain concept. Educreations is free. The app is free. You also would set up a free account through a website at educreations.com, and you're able to access anything that you create in the iPad app via the web that way as well. You can make these things private, you can make them public, you can share them with whoever you want. I'm going to open up Educreations, and the first thing it's going to show me is it's going to show me what a lesson looks like. So I'm going to show you just a lesson that I've done. We're going to walk through one real quick and you can kind of see how this operates. So I'm going to open up the Pythagorean theorem lesson.
So the Pythagorean theorem states that in any right triangle, which is what we have here indicated by this little square in the corner that indicates the 90 degree.
I am going to fast forward a little bit because a lot of the beginning is me just talking. I want you to see actually drawing and filling in some things on here. So I'm going to fast forward just a little bit here to about the 48-second mark, and I'll play it just a little further here for you.
Hypotenuse and C. So if we took the relationship of all three of these, the Pythagorean theorem states that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So if we wanted to look at this in terms of numbers, if we went into this and said, you know, a was 3, say a was 3 squared, b was 2, so 2 squared equals c squared. We can figure out c.
And then the rest of the lesson is me just kind of walking you through how to figure out C. But what I wanted to show you there and what I wanted you to see is that what a complete lesson would look like. And now I want to go back and show you how we can actually create a lesson. So I'm going to hit Done, and I'm going to go back into this main screen. And from this main screen, there's a button up in the top left corner that says New Lesson. I tap on that. That gives us our whiteboard that we can deal with. So here's our kind of tools across the top. We've got the Done button. When we're done, we would hit that. Down in the bottom left corner, there's a little, looks like a piece of paper with the corner folded over. If we tap on that, we can choose whether we want white paper, lined paper, graph paper, or coordinate graph or coordinate grid for our paper. Up across the top, you can see there's 4 options for colors up here. There's black, blue, red, and green. On the black button, there's a little down arrow. If we hold on that, you can see we actually have 10 options for colors that we can use. We can also add text to our typed text to our Educreation lesson. Whenever we add typed text, it automatically pauses the recording until we're done adding that text so that we don't spend a whole lot of time not talking while we're typing. We can add pictures into this, and we can record our selection, or our lesson as well. So I'm going to walk you through just really quick. We're going to do a little lesson on Iowa City, the University of Iowa, and kind of what we might say to somebody that's thinking about coming to work or live here. So I'm going to actually tap on the picture button, and you can see I have access to pictures from my camera, from my photo roll, from my Dropbox, or from the web. I'm going to go to the web, and I'm going to type in here Midwest map. Again, I mentioned, as I think I mentioned before, it's helpful to have a stylus if you're going to do this. A stylus makes it easier to write and draw on here. I chose my map. You can see across the bottom I can now delete it, rotate it, duplicate it, fit height, fit width, or lock it. I'm going to fit the width here, so I've got it the size of my entire screen. And I'm going to go through now and I'm going to create this lesson, and we're going to take a look at how this lesson might work. So I'm going to hit, we'll do a lesson, and I'm going to kind of hit pause and record so I can show you what I'm doing as well. The first thing I'm going to do when I hit record is I'm going to tap on the black button up here, and I'm going to draw a little dot near Iowa City to show you where that is, and then I'm going to add text to explain that that's Iowa City as well. So I'm going to hit record up here. Today we're going to do a little lesson about Iowa City and the areas that are close by. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to point out where Iowa City is here on the map of Iowa, and it's roughly in this area. And the next thing I did is I tapped on the text, so we should see that pop up in a minute. It says right here, pause recording while you enter text. I'm going to tap near Iowa City, and I'm going to type Iowa City in here. Now my recording has stopped. Now that I'm done, I should be able to go back and hit the record button, and it's going to continue recording from this. So we'll do this, and you'll see I'm going to change colors. I'll be tapping different colors on here to indicate different things as well. So Iowa City is in the state of Iowa. It's about 60 miles from the Mississippi River. The Mississippi River runs along the border of the state there. Iowa City also houses the University of Iowa, which is the flagship university in the state. The university covers, has students from much of the state of Iowa. It also draws a large part of its population from that Chicago area there. The Chicago suburbs have a lot of students that come to the University of Iowa as well. I'm going to show you here, I can now, if I want to get rid of what I have drawn in there, I can hit the X, and I can hit clear ink, and it's going to wipe the ink out, but now I'm going to have to add my dot for Iowa City back in here. One of the things that's nice for a lot of people that are in the area, that live in the area, is the proximity of Iowa City to several of these other cities that are in the Midwest as well. If we wanted to drive, say, from Iowa City to Chicago, that's about a 3.5-hour drive. If we want to go to Milwaukee, that's about a 4-hour drive. Minneapolis is about 5. Kansas City is about 4. And St. Louis is about 4 as well. I'm going to pause my recording there. And you can see what I did basically with this is brought in a map and just started drawing to kind of show different things within this. And now, if I figured this is something that I want to be done with, this is my lesson that I want to share with you, I can go ahead and hit done, and that would allow me to share it. If I wanted to add more to this, if you look down in the bottom corner, there's a little right arrow. I can add another screen, and it'll take my audience to that next screen when I go ahead and do that. If there was something I didn't like, I could hit the undo button up here, and it would undo it. And if I decided I wanted that redone, I could hit the redo button, and it'll add that back in for me as well. So there's not a whole lot in terms of options up here that you can deal with. If we look down at the bottom corner, again, there's that plus option. We can duplicate this page or with the ink or that we've drawn on here, or just the page itself. If we don't need to duplicate it for whatever reason, that's fine. Here's our lesson. We've created a lesson. If we hit done, we can either save the lesson or start it over. I'll save the lesson, and now it asks me for a description. So I can type in here Iowa City, if I can spell it correctly, Iowa City lesson. And then I'll hit next, and this is where it asks if I want to make it private. If I want to make it private or if I want to make it public after I've hit next here. And it should catch up in just a second. There we go. So I'm not going to make this public. I'll just make it private. I'm going to tap on private. It's going to ask me for a subject area. I'll just tap and say all. And then as you can see, I'm logged in as myself. So this will also provide me access to this via the web if I wanted to go there. I'm going to hit save. And now I've got this lesson added to my group of lessons here on my main page. If I were to open that up,
today we're going to do a little lesson about Iowa City.
You're going to see it's going to run
the areas that are close
on my iPad.
Close by. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to point out where Iowa City is here on the map of Iowa. It's roughly in this area. So Iowa City is in the state of Iowa. It's about 60 miles from the...
I'm going to pause it there. You can see there was a nice pause when it added the text for Iowa City. It didn't take all the time I spent to type that in. It paused and then it showed up for me. And now we can... I'll just run it just a second longer or so.
The Mississippi River runs along the border of the state there. Iowa City also houses the University of Iowa, which is the the flagship university in the state. The university covers students from much of the state of Iowa. It also draws a large part of its population from that Chicago area there, the Chicago.
So there you can see that that's how our lesson's going to look after we created it. And we could send this to somebody that can watch it over and over again. One of the ways that we can share it, if we look up at the top of the screen, there's a Facebook link, a Twitter link, an email link. Any of those things we can send to folks. That way we can post our lessons on Facebook, on Twitter, on email. We can send them on email. If we're done watching this, we can hit done up in the top corner. Take us back to our main page. On the main page, just a couple other things I want to point out. There's the export button there. If we hit export, again, it just gives us at the bottom of each of the lessons the Facebook, Twitter, and email logos there. We can kind of send those things that way. We can link this up with Dropbox. No, we cannot link this up with Dropbox. I apologize. It's another app I was thinking of. This doesn't link up with Dropbox, but we can link it up with, again, Facebook, Twitter, or email. The other thing that you can do, if you look at the bottom here under Featured, if we tap Featured, it's going to show us other lessons that we can pull up and take a look at. If you go under Settings, I guess there is a way to send it through Dropbox. If we choose Dropbox and link it to Dropbox, we should be able to drop it in there. Since mine is not linked, that's why we didn't see the Dropbox logo. If we do link it, we should be able to share with Dropbox. We can import photos from Dropbox as well. So there's lots of cool things we can do with this. It's a really neat way. It's a free way to create those individual lessons that then a student can sit and watch over and over again until they understand kind of what you're trying to get across to them. So it's pretty simple and pretty easy to use and can be real effective for your students. And again, it's a free app and a free subscription to a website. I would definitely recommend using this to work with students that might struggle in certain concept areas and might need help with seeing lessons over and over again.